All right, so I'm live right now, and so I'm live right now. Yep, the audio is correct. Generally, I could hear myself, so I guess this is all fine. So, guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to this live stream series where I am going to create a mock Airbnb or a clone of Airbnb using Python and Next.js. So the whole series is on the basis of fact that I have a good amount of experience working with Laravel, PHP, but I'm not very comfortable with Python. I have been using Python for about 6 to 8 months now. So obviously there is a huge difference in terms of comfort level on both those programming languages. And what I want to do is use my PHP experience and do vibe coding in Python and see how easy it is to create a scalable application with complications like Airbnb and see what is the overall experience of doing that. Okay. So, a quick recap of what I have done so far. We have created some APIs using FastAPI in Python. So I have two entities. You can see I have hotels. I have the basic CRUD for hotels. I have locations, and I have the basic CRUD for locations as well. Additionally, I have two APIs. One is, an additional API, which is list of hotels based on the, list of locations based on the hotel ID. Okay. And with this, what I plan to do is create a front-end application. This is my front-end application design that I have created using Stitch with Google.com, which is an AI-powered UI designer. You can create mobile screens and web screens on it, and it's pretty good. Um, yes, and I have this GitHub repository, which is Stainest. You can go to this URL and get your look at the repositories. You can get the code. We have two repositories over here. I have some commits on the APIs to get all of these. And I have recently, in my last video, created the front end. I'll have to start the front end as well. Forgot to do that. Okay. I think my Terminator froze again. I am not sure why this is happening. I'll have to use terminal now. Just let me start things again. Hey, hi, Melly VFX. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining. And don't call me sir. You can just call me Amitav. I'll be more than happy to be addressed in that way. Thank you for joining once again. How are you doing? Oh, okay. So, I need the API. Make run dev. That's good to know. Next client. I already have cursor, so maybe I'll do npm run dev. This should open up our application, and I'll have my Claude over here as well. Great. So if I remember correctly, yeah, I have these two pages, and what I think is going to happen is obviously I will have to create quite a few locations, but for now, today, what we are going to focus is get that basic level of API communication going so that whatever we have right now, everything is hard coded, right? So we get data which is coming from our API. That is kind of more interesting and you know, something to look at as a developer, right? So we will try to do that. Okay, so I'm able to see the analytics of my stream. It says good health, so all good. And yeah, so the first thing that I would like to do is I'm on the client, right? So do I have a Claude MD? Okay, I have kind of committed the HTML files in my repository as well, is it? Shouldn't have done that, but that's fine. I can delete them later on. And what I will do is I will ask Claude to do an init so that it understands the current structure that I have. And based on that, we will, get some, I would say, guidance in terms of how we would want to architect the API calling. Okay. At some point, we will also have to do authentications and stuff. We will get to that later. But yeah, initially, I think it is important to understand what is maybe a good, how do you say, architecture in terms of reusing the same endpoints. I don't want to repeat my URLs in multiple places. So how to go about doing that in Next.js is something which I'll ask Claude. Let me see what it has to say. Okay. And what I will also do is so I have locations list. Try it out. Yeah. I will, in the meantime, have one new file where I want to integrate my API with the landing page. What are we calling it? Slash landing, right? Pages. Yeah. Locations. Location page. Okay, I want to integrate this with the location page. The curl call to get the API data is below. Okay, and the response from this API is like this. So if we give this kind of details, right, I know it is going to do a good job. Okay. Additionally, I will say that yeah, I can pass query params. Yeah, this, okay, it is already there. Yeah, for page size and page. So you need to handle that as part of the pagination. And what else? I think we have covered this. And well, we have, mhm. Yeah, please add that to cloud.md because that is something which I will use later on. Yeah, so what's included? Project overview, build this, tech stack summary, key pattern, server versus client component guidance, polymorphic property card pattern, Okay, so now I will give it some requirement, additional requirement, which is I want to render locations, render data on the location page. I want it to be SEO friendly. So you need to fetch the data from the API to render it on the server side. Okay, because in Next.js you can make the API calls uh, on two places, in two places rather. One is the client side. So when your page loads, your page gets ready, and then some of the hooks that you have, for example, use effect, right? You can use it to make an API call. The the AJAX call will be made, data will be fetched, and then it will be displayed. However, it doesn't solve your SEO problem because whatever is there in JavaScript, right, it will not be visible to the crawlers, and you will have a hard time with your SEO. Whereas if we are doing server-side rendering, then what happens is the API call will be made on the server, which ensures that if there are crawlers from Google or any other search engine bots, right, they will be able to see that information. Okay. So on the server side, you need to fetch the data from the API and render it on the page on the server side. So what is the best architecture to do this? Okay, let's ask Claude about this and see what it has to say. In the meantime, guys, do comment how do you work with your Next.js application. What is your experience with server-side coding? And yeah, it will be nice to know how you guys handle these kind of situations. Okay, it has something recommended direct async server component. App locations page. This is the simplest and most performant for your use case. Server components are async by default. No need for get server props or get static props. HTML is fully rendered on server. Oh, now this is something new. I wasn't aware of it. Okay. Zero client-side JavaScript for the data fetch. Built-in fetch caching. Great. Okay, that's fine. That's great. Can I have one HTTP service layer which I will always use to make API calls? I want to do this to ensure that the base URL and some global configs can be handled in this service when required. Okay. By the way, we also have Mr. YouTube. Okay. Hello, Mr. YouTube. You are watching me. Okay, that's great. Thank you for being online and coming to this stream. Um, where are you guys from? I mean, I can see two chats. One is from, Melly VFX and Mr. YouTube. Now, why don't you guys introduce yourself? Where are you from? And, what technologies do you work with? It will be good to know. Okay. A centralized HTTP server layer is a solid pattern. Here's a clean architecture. It is creating a lib HTTP client. Okay. Okay, this makes sense. Why don't you add this details to Claude.md? Okay, yeah. And what I would also like to do is rather, like, I had one docs folder for my API, right? Where is my API running? This is the API, right? So what I will do is I had a docs folder, right, where I would add these things. Yes. So because I don't know if Claude.md is the best way to read from cursor as well. So what I will do is I will say it's fine. This is fine. Maybe why don't we try it once? Okay. So I have this requirement, obviously. Okay, plan. Let's create the plan first. I want you to implement the requirement that I have added in to do for architecture guidance, refer to Claude. CLAU. Wow, it's not taking it. Uh, oh, that's capital C. Is that why it is not able to pick it up? Let me see. Come on. Not MD. CLAUD. Correct. I don't know why this is not picking up. But anyways, I will still go ahead and allow it to run and see what it has to bring up. Okay. So guys, as I said, right, I am trying to get into an architecture of making those HTTP calls where I have one service file, because every now and then you will have situations where you would want to handle some global level things. And I personally find it very useful to have one layer as my control layer, so that if there is anything that is required at a global level, I'm always able to do that. Hence this approach where I have one entry point, one service layer, which Claude mentioned over here. Where is this? Yeah, data fetching. App lib this is the client that I will create, and then location equals await HTTP location. Okay, so it will give me a generic thing, revalidate. Wow, it will do a revalidation stuff as well. This is nice. I think this is the kind of um, how do you say, this is the kind of decision making that we will have to now do to ensure that what we have is properly developed, even with vibe coding. So what will it do? App location page renders locations using mock, no API or pagination. The TS location type already matches API item shape. Yeah. Optional fields like image URL are supported. HTTP client described by CloudMD but not present. Huh? Okay, yeah. Yet, no .env file. API base will need to be documented, used. Target behavior. Location page fetches from this. Pagination is driven by URL. Page shows API items. Yeah. Okay, implementation plan. Process env API base URL by default to 8000. Yes, that's correct. And then build full URL, optional query parameters, API response will come, and location page, data type, pagination. Okay. What is the high level thing here? Get here, page. Okay, get base URL, it gets the ID, data, and then render. Fine. All this makes sense. Let's hit build and wait and watch what it is doing. Yeah, ISR every 60 seconds. Interesting. So for 60 seconds, it will cache itself, right? We should also have, the ability to, at a global level, have a no cache equals true, which will ensure that we don't cache ever, which will be very useful during development. So it's creating a .env example. Okay. Let me see. I can simply .env example to this. What happened? I thought now that I don't need to do too much coding, this machine will be a bit faster, but turns out it takes so much time to just copy an env file. uh, God knows what is happening with this. I think my SSD has a problem. Anyways, something to look at later. Any new chat? Anything? No. Okay. Perfect. So let us quickly look at what it is doing. So yes, the env is fine. I can just agree to what it has. What is this index? Okay, this is the exporting the HTTP client, so which is fine. Let's look at the client.ts and understand what it is trying to do. So it has a default value for base, which is good. Type get option search params, revalidate cache. Search param is a complete string. Okay, fair enough. I'll go with that. Function build URL. Okay. Path normalize. Start with this. Fair enough. Build path URL to string. All this is fine. We have a get. Okay, and that get does a build URL, which is on top, and then constant fetch options await fetch. So these are the fetch options. I pass the URL, I pass this. Okay. URL got created with the search parameters. Then if I don't have response, okay, throw HTTP error, else response.json as a promise. Okay. Export get HTTP.get. So I'll get the get to be executed, which is fine. This is absolutely fine. What is it trying to do? It is trying to do a build. Okay. I don't need that build actually. I should have told it in my prompt. Open code plus kimi k.2 or glm 4.7 try karo. You mean running it on my local machine? By the way, hi Devjit. Thanks for coming online. Um, if you are suggesting me running, a local LLM, a local model, believe me, my machine is so slow. I I don't know whether it will work or not. I'm very happy with Cursor. I mean, yes, it's paid. I have Cursor plan and I have a Claude plan as well. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm maybe when I have a new machine, I will try that thing. Otherwise, it will be very slow. Okay, is it done? Yes, it is. Build compiled successfully. Let's look at it. Open code VS Code form. Open code VS Code form. I don't know what you mean by that. But anyways, let's see. Okay, we have only two hotels, so it kind of makes sense. I'll have to generate a few. Yeah, open code. I know it's a VS Code fork, and it has quite a few good features as well. I think there was one more open codex. No. Open codex is OpenAI's thing. There was the uh, open source terminal code editor. Something which is equivalent to Claude. Is it open code? Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. I do get confused with the name. Yeah, that's the one. Yes, yes. So I know it's great. It has a lot of good things. And I was even listening to the interview by the person who is primarily working on this. What is that? Mm-hmm. I'll show you the um, thing. Okay, it's not on this subscription, so I'll have to look for it. But there's an interview with on the Pragmatic Engineer YouTube channel where this person talks about how he has built it. What are some of the good things about open code and why they are able to get a good performance and those kind of stuff. Because Claude, what I understood is basically an NPM thing, whereas this is built on Go. Is it? I think it's Go. I can go over here and see. TypeScript, Rust. That's very minimal. Wonder why it is TypeScript. Okay, I don't know. Yes, it is currently free. Kimi and GLM and Impress thinking of replacing anti-gravity. Okay, fine. So where were we? I think this is working. What it has done. Let us quickly, while we review it, I'll open a new terminal and I will have some things in there. Like while it does its thing. So we will take one slug from here. Oh, you know what? I haven't even created that page. So how can I even do the detail of it? So what I will do is come over here, view code, copy, and detail.html. Okay, I'll have this ready. Now, I will have create the detail page of a location. I have the markup in under detail.html file. You can look at the markup, and based on the location page design, you can use the common layout elements, and then the rest can be markup for this detail page. The slug for this page should be something like slash location. Is it location or locations? Location slash slug. Okay. Again, the data should be fetched server side. The HTTP client should be used like we have done in the location page. And what else? Look at the page design once. Yeah. The top gallery should be an independent component. The check-in, checkout, and guest. The check-in, checkout, guest form should be a separate component as well. Same for reviews. The map, or now add a placeholder. We will do the Google Map integration later. And what else? Yeah, that's it. Let it work on the plan for this while we review this code that we have already. Okay. So this is the index. I can simply approve that. Client, we were looking at it. So this is all fine. Fine. Yeah. That does work for me. Yeah, in env again, I don't need to worry about it. Location TS. Location API response. Items location. Is that how items? Yeah, perfect. So it understood that the API is going to come in that particular fashion, which is good. Sorry about that. It's doing its thing. Don't need to worry. Close this. Location.ts. Yes, we were here. So yeah, total, page number, and page size. Yeah, all good. So far, everything what it has done is spot on. Now this is locations page. This is the basic page. We will look into this later. What is this loading thing? Loading is some kind of a loader is what I believe is happening over here. But I don't see any text or anything. Array from. Okay. Page. And I'm importing this location API response, default page size 20, max 200. Okay. Um, has it added any selector? No, right? Yeah, that's fine then. Okay. Page props, parse page, value string this. Okay, number, parse size. I have a feeling, will this be required in other files as well? Probably. Um, why don't you move the code for these inside utils, inside a file called utils.ts? Yeah. Then location page, try this, catch location header, failed to. Okay, so this is what, no, location header is this, and then failed to load locations, try again later. Okay. Uh, okay. Return, else there is another return. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold. Uh, okay. Now that the two agents are running, I think it's a little sluggish, but what I can see over here is, so params, page and page size. Okay. Uh, fine. And then I have data, revalidate 60. All this is fine. Either it returns this, good, else it goes ahead, gets this, return location header, no location found if the item length is 0. So I can, yeah, I think this is fine. Now, if we find a length, then we are looping the property card. Okay. Pagination bar. This is a lot of code. So why don't we also create a component out of it? Why don't you make this a reusable pagination component? Okay. So we have this in place, and the pagination is now taken into a common, I would say, common component. So every time I get that kind of a data, I can simply pass it on. And I'll have to check one more thing, which is inside types. Okay, I have only one thing called location. I have to see what it does to the prop. Is it taking everything as separate items, or will it create a type? Mm-hmm. So the loading is fine. I think I can just click that to being accepted, and it's doing something. In the meantime, where are we with this? It has a plan. Let it do its thing. We will read this one in the meantime. That's the multitasking thing with agents. So it will create this route, location, reuse, header, footer, main component, fetch via HTTP client, revalidate 60, extends this, location detail. Okay, perfect. All fine. Independent location gallery. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. I think I'll have to work on this where, if there are less images, what should happen, those kind of stuff. Maybe we can do that. Can you give me some options where for the gallery on the top with uh, 2 images, 3 images, and 4. I think then it is fine. Okay. It will create some options for us, and we will then later on see what can be done about that. A booking form. Props. This fine markup sticky card with check-in. Yeah, it is making it sticky, which is great. Location reviews, page structure, async server component. Yeah, so it understands it's a server component. Fetch this, render location header, main, location gallery, 2-column layout, responsive, left, post, headline, avatar, blah, blah, blah. This is fine. Location reviews. Yeah, this looks generally fine. Let me go ahead and tell it to start the build. And let us come back to the refactoring of pagination. Let's see what is done. Yeah. So base path. Okay. So I expected this. Why don't you create a global file for types, add pagination to it, keep the path. I think, yeah, the base path can also be a thing. I mean, no, it will be easy to read, right? So keep the base path as one separate prop. Rest pagination data can be one prop, which will be defined in the type. Yeah. I'll just, yeah, I'll keep the base path. It will be easy to read, but do I need to actually read it? I pass the pagination data and that's it, right? So yeah, keep this is not required. Pagination data can be one prop which will be defined in the type, and you directly send that object. But then I'll have to massage it somewhere after getting that thing, right? I think what it has done is fine for now. Let's keep it like this. I'll see. This is fine. So it must have taken the markup from here and pushed it there. So not a problem. And we have the page ready. Why don't we create one more? How many hotels do we have? We have 2. Mountain View and Hilltop. Okay. So location create. Hotel is 2. Okay. Sun Beach Resort. What? Chennai. Bizarre. Some Beach Road. I don't know. Yeah, rest everything is fine. I know it's Chennai, and I still had done that, but okay, now we have a problem. Hmm. We'll have to ask it to fix it, but it's a square card. Oops. There's some server-side error. Uh, 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 uh. Why? I mean, now I should have 3. Code, tutorials, Nest.js, API, database. Oh, this is not Laravel and SQLite, DB. My bad, sorry. I'll have to open dbeaver. Per page is 20, so I did create it, right? I mean, what happened? I think I created it properly. I don't understand. It said, oh, okay. Missing body contact phone number. Great. I'll add that. Obviously, those are hidden ones, right? So it didn't came through. Oops. Phone number 98200 982 98200 Okay. And contact email. I think that is also, no, it's not mandatory. So I should be able to create it now. String type. Okay. No problem. Now we have this new thing which is coming here. And we can definitely see that the one which was created latest is on top. So don't need dweaver now. All right. It has created these options, which is great. I don't like the 4 thing. It has, yeah. I don't like this format of 4 images. Can you change this to a grid? Okay, and this is fine. To the requirement, what was the latest change over here? The pagination was correctly done. Right, that's what we did over here. Fine. So this is kind of done. We have seen this entire page. We can validate that. And this one, is it waiting for something? Yeah. I think it doesn't need to do the build is something which I need to mention in my prompt. It doesn't make sense at all. Um, it's completely unnecessary at this point. And it is compiling. It should go. I can see that link being done. Let's see. I think because it is building, it is taking a little bit of time. Creating the production build. So a listing page is kind of done. The only thing which I'll try to now do, wow, this is great. I mean, this is all done. This is sticky. Amazing. We have a placeholder here. And this is nice. I mean, yes, there are problems. Obviously, these things are not aligned and everything. I can get rid of those alignments problems and make them better. But I mean, what do we have? What have we done? We have only spent about 50 minutes. We have created a page which is now integrated with the API, and it. If I click, it goes here. What else? And let me see if I close the dev build, right, and do npm run build and npm run start. Compiled successfully, running TypeScript. Yeah. At one point it will have everything ready, and now things will be a little faster. Location, Lonavala. See, this is amazing. I'm really enjoying it. Now I have my Python APIs over here being exercised for the data. I can see these queries in my terminal, and we'll have to obviously create an admin for it so that we are able to add properties and stuff. We will do that as a separate section of the route, but this is amazing. I'm just amazed how quickly we got things done. And now the only thing I'll have to do is actually start thinking of these exercising these actual APIs, because with the basic thing done, uh, all we need to do is start getting the search in place. Then these kind of categorizations need to be added. There are a lot of things to do, but yeah, most popular, all these things we will build up. Yeah. um, just maybe to make things a little interesting, save link. Let me see. I just wanted to you know get the image URL so that, yeah, this is fine. So that I can, in my dviewer, maybe change it. But okay, I will not do it over the live session. I can do that later on. I feel I should also uh, share the SQL data so that you have some good data to work with, because these kind of things don't look good. They don't make sense if you don't have good data with you, and that's the whole game in here, right? Uh, okay, I don't have images as well, so anyways, that is anyways not possible. We will have to work with those things. So yeah, I think it's almost an hour, 54 minutes. I have covered quite a few things. We have created the locations page in API integration. It is taking data from my Python API. If I click on it, it is taking data from, again, my Python API. So this is all good, and it's a great starting point. What I will do is now I will create a few more tickets around what we want to do, and maybe start addressing those. I did have a few tickets for my API. Let me see. I'm just trying to recollect things. Pa, pa, pa. Yeah, I think so. Refactor files to have a suffix. Yes. So I'll start creating detailed tickets, and I will go through them with you so that I don't have to type everything on live, and we will be able to cover more and see things in action. And I will explain you all the prompts, why we have done rather all the requirements, so that we generate the prompt on the fly. We do the vibe coding thing, we get the entire vibe while we do this live. Okay, so yeah, thanks guys, thanks for being online and supporting me with this. I'm really enjoying what we have been able to achieve in such a quick succession. We have, I don't know how many videos have I done. I think this is the fourth one, and we already have locations APIs, and we have the entire front end. So many things are there. So yeah, that's great. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon in the next video. Till then, bye.